dependable, it's secure. Many small businesses around the nation, actually around the world, use tools like that. There are reasonable fees. Payroll is run through as well. It takes into consideration taxes, what state you're operating in. So that's another example, I think, of something we use, which is in a way a cloud service.
Absolutely, and Eddie touched on that, but again, QuickBooks is a paid service, but it's all hosted. QuickBooks Online is all hosted on the web. All of the payroll is on the web. Of course, all of our banking is done on the web. It lends itself very well for a services-oriented company, which is what we are. Most all of our revenue is services, not any products sold per se. It's mainly services related. So we do not have a physical office for all of our employees. We have a corporate headquarters type deal, which is actually a residence. We have all of the corporate mail going to a residence, but we're virtual. All of our employees are either on-site working at contracts across the U.S., traveling to and from those, or traveling to their house on the weekends. So we found that all of our office work is on the cloud and on the web. I've touched on the main points that we've dealt with, but accounting was probably the next. Accounting and banking are probably the other two. But you can pretty much run an entire business from a cloud type computer. And the other piece, we have a data center where we're doing all of our. We actually have a physical server rack and everything. The cloud computing has gotten to the point we actually do have a computer on the cloud. We've built an image up. It's what you would find in any good data center. There's disaster recovery, there's high availability, and the cost for operating one of those machines is actually comparable to actually buying and hosting one yourself or hosting it in a data center. So the entire advent of the cloud computing, you can sit down, create any type of server you want, as small as you want, as big as you want, run your databases off of it, run all of your business off of the internet in a cloud computing environment. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Can you once and for all solve the great BlackBerry iPhone debate that's been going on?
Yes, I can. It's called an HTC Incredible.
Actually, I use my BlackBerry, and I have not been as productive in years. I remember having one before. I was pretty productive. Got rid of it. Went for a regular phone. Had a lot of things going on. Went back, and I get so much done on the road through this machine. But I feel like there's so much more I could do. Do you know of any like BlackBerry or iPhone applications that you guys use on a regular that may be beneficial to small business owners that are always on the road?
And that's a tough question, because here's the deal. The BlackBerry in itself is a device that I'd recommend for most businesses. If you're not a geek like me and wants the latest and greatest, the BlackBerry by itself is probably one of the best things that happened to businesses in the last 20 years. The ability to do your email, your contacts, everything on one device, downloading the different Twitter clients, the Facebook clients, the LinkedIn clients, keep you in touch with your different contacts, keep you in communication with the people on the road. It's perfect. Again, the iPhone is just as viable for receiving your email, your contacts. I tend to think the BlackBerry is a little bit easier for that one-handed operation while you're driving down the road or walking through the airport. Not that anybody's driven down the road using their iPod before, but walking through the airport, that one-handed operation is quite nice. It just works, which is, I think, Apple's logo, Apple's slogan on the end. As for the software, though, I really can't address that too terribly much on this. Yes, sir.
The only thing that I might suggest is tethering. All of those applications, the ability to tether and
yes.
secure ways that you can tether through all of those devices now is.
John, what's tethering?
Tethering is using your BlackBerry as a tethered to your laptop, using it for internet access. One of the things I was talking about before. You can also sync some of the information back and forth, so you install applications as well with the desktop manager. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Did you ever consider using Microsoft's BizSpark for small businesses?
Honestly, I did not. And I can't address too much on the BizSpark services. So if anybody here knows about them, I'd like to share.
So if you have a Microsoft shop or a client, a big client requires you to use Microsoft or you're a small business, BizSpark gives you a path to get free licensing up to 3 years for startups. So you pay 0 from day 1 through your 36, or whatever, 3 years is 36 months. And then at that point you start buying licensing. So it's a free way to use Microsoft Office. For the short term, they're going to get their money eventually, but if you absolutely require Microsoft Office, that's something to consider. They include SQL Server and Exchange in that as well.
That sounds like what their TechNet used to be. We used to be able to just subscribe to like TechNet. And I, you know, as much as I've said that Microsoft's cost prohibitive up here, I'm actually an MCP. I have been for years. I used to be a sole Microsoft user until about 5 years ago when I found the Mac and haven't been back. But the Microsoft is the leader in the industry for their operating systems and their other tools. Right? They have been. Let me put that as they have been. I don't know where that's going to be in the future, but for those offices, they do offer some plans to get you in there and actually start using their products for small businesses. They will eventually get their licensing fees. So that's just something to remember. If you're looking to keep operating costs at a minimum, you can get by for, say, the first 3 years with Microsoft tools, but then you need to make sure you have it in your budget to start paying those fees. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I appreciate you letting me take the time to talk to you, and I'll put up some contact information.
To continue this conference, we want to give a certificate to Mr. Butler as a small gesture of appreciation.